Hi folks, thanks for tuning in again. This is the first video of 2020 and I've come up to the Peak District to do this instalment. Now I'm actually on my way back down because it was all a bit of a rush and the hike ended up being a lot more serious than I anticipated, so the emphasis was on getting to the location and trying to find a composition rather than messing about doing B-roll and stuff. So I will flick back to the shots of me taking the photograph, and I think there's a couple in this one, but it's quite challenging and difficult. I started at the top of a rocky escarpment called I can't remember what it's called now, Crow Rocks or something like that. I'll put a label on screen for you. And I found a nice composition and there was some lovely light up there as well, but it was just so windy that I just couldn't get the camera set up and composed properly, so basically I gave up. And then I thought about abandoning the video, to be honest, and just making sure I could get off the hill safely. So I was making tracks back towards the beginning of the walk and I spotted another set of rocks which had a really nice view, and it was a bit sheltered as well, so I managed to set a camera up and get some shots of that. So I'll cut away to the video of me taking that photograph and you can have a look at that. So this was at the first location at Crowstone's Edge, and this gives you a pretty good idea of why I decided to call it a day with the large format camera at this point. It was blowing a gale and the dark cloth kept blowing in front of the ground glass and eventually just blew away completely, so I decided to call it a day at this point with the large format camera. It was just not going to work with this much wind, but if you don't give it a go you'll never know, so it was at least worth trying out. And if I wasn't going to get any photographs up here, it was still going to be a great day out on the hill. Well, about half an hour later I spotted this collection of rocks buried in the heather and decided I wanted to make a photograph of these, and although it doesn't look it from these images, it was actually a lot more sheltered here. So I was able to get the large format camera out and the dark cloth didn't blow away. I was able to set up a composition. So I exposed a couple of sheets of Fomapan 100 and 2 sheets of Kodak Actar as well. And the black and white shots were done with an orange filter, and I didn't use any filters for the colour images. There was some lovely side light coming in, and although it was still probably about an hour from sunset, at this time of year the light's gorgeous all day round really, so you don't necessarily need to limit your photography to the golden hour. So with 4 sheets of film exposed I packed everything away and continued on with a hike. But before we do that, let's take a look at the images. Up here on Howden Moor there's a real sense of remoteness, and it must certainly be one of the largest expanses of land not traversed by a road, certainly south of Scotland. It's navigationally challenging in all weather conditions, but the rewards are plenty with expansive views under huge skies. Now that I have a feel for the location, I'll certainly be coming back up here and I can make some adjustments to the route to make progress a bit quicker. The total route today was just under 10 kilometres with about 1100 feet of climbing, so not too bad, but not a walk in the park considering all the weight I was carrying with the large format camera and all the video recording equipment. Perhaps it's time to look at some other options for film photography high up in the hills that are more forgiving of inclement weather. I used to have a Mamiya RZ67 system though, that weighed even more than the 4x5 stuff, so I need something a little bit lighter than that. But don't fear, I'm not considering giving up the 4x5 anytime soon. Well, I'm safely back down off the hill now, so I'm just following the main track back to the car. So it's probably about half an hour's walk, 3/4 of an hour, and then I can get hot chocolate. So I'll just say thanks for joining me on this trip. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, it'd be great if you'd consider hitting that subscribe button, and if you hit the notification bell too, you'll get notified when I upload a new video. So thanks for joining me, and hope to see you next time.